The people over at Sonible have treated Real Home Recording really well over the years, asking me to check out their products. And I have, but I didn't always make videos about them. Now I'm changing that now that Windows 10 is installed on my main computer. However, I wanted to give a very thorough overview of all their products, starting with the upcoming Smart Reverb 2. Let's take a peek really quickly because I don't want to ruin the surprise for everybody. So what's happening between the tracks? Smart Reverb 2 knows. 5 years ago, we made our Smart Reverb content aware, adapting to the unique characteristics of each track. With Smart Reverb 2, we're going further because in mixes, reverb doesn't work alone. Now, it listens, it connects, it adapts across the session. We're scaling content awareness beyond the individual track, and that's just the beginning. Smart Reverb 2 reimagines what a reverb plugin can be and offers even more for those ready to break the mold. All right, like I said, I'm not going to ruin it for the rest of you guys. Looks like there's a preview video up. You can check that out for yourself. I'm going to go on to some plugins of theirs I haven't heard about or talked about. First of all is this Proximity EQ Plus, which apparently is for the folks in the post-production segment of sound engineering. For those that don't know what that means, it means video or film. So here we go. Whether music or speech, Proximity EQ Plus lets you edit sound spaces as never before. More freedom in post-production, closer to the source, often enough when interviewing the recording microphone got placed too far from the source, or the air conditioner literally just turned off and it's turning back on again. Let's say it again. Often enough when interviewing, the recording microphone got placed too far from the source, or the grand piano turns out muddy because too much reverb was recorded. In these situations, Proximity EQ Plus lets you draw the voice significantly closer and give the muddy piano a crisper sound in post-production. All right. Add space to the mix. Of course, it is also possible that the microphones ended up getting too close to the sound source. Your mix then lacks spaciousness. Proximity EQ Plus seamlessly distances the sound source without affecting its original character. This makes your entire mix more transparent and opens new ways of creating sonic depth. Cool. Room resonances. Optimal room acoustics at the touch of a button. Even when you meticulously plan a setup and perfectly position the microphones, the acoustics of a given room simply are what they are. The sophisticated technology of Proximity EQ Plus opens entirely new possibilities for amending detrimental room modes in post-production while leaving the direct sound entirely untouched. Cool. Okay. Here's some reviews of it. So yeah, it's originally designed for post-production, but obviously you can use it for music too. It's not that cheap of a plugin. You know, these are not some Ocean Waves, $30 per plugin kind of things. Like, these plugins are definitely priced professionally. I can't blame Sonible for doing that because they make... One thing I like about them is they, no matter what they release, it's something different. So there you go. All right. Available for all those different formats. I'm not sure when this plugin was released, but the fact that it says Windows 7 Plus, that to me says this is one of their older plugins. I don't know if it's still supported or not. So moving on, entropy is frequency selective transient manipulator. Okay. The new dimension of EQing simplifies the post-production of harmonic and noise components of audio recordings, freely adjustable and within seconds. All right. I still don't completely understand what that means. Striking percussions at the touch of a button. By detecting different sound components of an audio track, entropy EQ, is it EQ plus or just EQ? I'm just going to call it, how about entropy? I'm going to call it that. Makes it possible to isolate single drums within a set or percussion group. In this way, you can, for instance, refine the rim click or the solo on the toms. The sophisticated algorithm recognizes even the slightest attack sound. Interesting. The smart plugin equips you with the tools to manipulate select frequency ranges in isolation from each other. All right. From the original track of a TV report to the whispered finale to your new song. The entropy EQ takes care that every word stands out clearly and intelligibly in your mix. This is achieved by amplifying noisy consonant sounds, thus ensuring optimal intelligibility of speech. The plugin assists you simply and easily by accentuating the inharmonic components of speech. Here we go, Transient Design. Sometimes a recording thrives on the groove produced by the string instruments, whether the plectrum sound of an electric guitar or the rhythmic plucking of a violin string. At the other times, the very same impact noises ruin the harmonic sound of a recording. In both cases, entropy equips you with a comfortable solution by allowing you to tone down or amp up the rhythmic attack. Okay. Interesting. This is another somewhat expensive plugin, but hey, it is what it is. So moving on to the next one, SmartGate. This is one I've been meaning to check out, just haven't. Content-aware gate. It features intelligent source detection that focuses on your selected target source in the signal. In comparison with conventional gates, SmartGate delivers solid results and makes parametrization, say that word 3 times fast, incredibly fast and easy. Gating can be a tricky task. With SmartGate, it's as simple as selecting a target source from a drop-down menu. Whether you're targeting vocals, electric guitar, piano, or one of many other options, the intelligent gate reliably delivers even when the target source varies in level, or a competing instrument is louder than the signal you want to keep. SmartGate's content-aware processing unlocks its full potential where conventional gate plugins struggle. That alone should have made me want to upgrade to Windows 10, or I should say downgrade. But either way, I'm glad I finally have it. Finally, a gate that is truly able to differentiate between a mix and the signal component contained within it. Interesting. Both the target signal's activity and the gating are visualized in detail. Together with instant replay, you are provided with all the insights you need to get your parameterization and tweaking done much faster. All with familiar controls and without any guesswork. I really can't read that word. Parameterization. I don't know. Parameterization. There we go. Besides its intelligent target source detection, SmartGate sports a host of features for fine-tuning, such as a 3-band suppression network for weighting the gating. Weighting the gating! I don't know why that's so funny. Across the frequency spectrum, the level bias enables you to increase the level dependency of the processing, or processing if you're from the UK. Extremely handy when you want air conditioners to turn on when you're trying to record. Extremely handy when you want to refine the response to transient target sources. And since gating and ducking are closely related in their processing, the gate plugin can be switched to ducking mode, offering you the same target-focused functionality. You can also use SmartGate without its content-aware AI feature as a conventional gate. All right, nice. So, all right, I'm going to move on to the next plugin, SmartEQ, the Intelligent Equalizer. By the way, all these are available 30-day free trials. SmartEQ uses artificial intelligence to correct spectral issues and achieve tonal balance. This equalizer empowers you to approach a project from a mix perspective. Intelligent cross-channel processing offers hierarchical control over multiple tracks and enables you to get spectral mixing done via drag and drop. Cool. So it's got, again, the cross-channel stuff, which is what the Smart Reverb 2 is going to be having. AI filter, dynamic EQing, mix profiles, reference track, auto gain. The features just keep coming. So here we go. Unlike usual equalizers that leave the context of a mix out of any processing, SmartEQ 4 lets you take control over multi-track unmasking processes easily and get spectral mixing done by simply dragging and dropping up to 10 tracks. This set priorities for each smart filter. It's supposed to say then, I believe. Then set priorities for each smart filter, bringing some elements to the forefront of the sonic stage, leaving some in the middle, and pushing some into the background. Switching back and forth between instances is a thing of the past in this innovative tool. Any instance within the same group can be remotely controlled from any other instance. Wow, oh, that's cool. I know that's in other plugins. I haven't really done that too much myself while mixing, but that's something I'll change when I check out SmartEQ 4, which I was supposed to do last year. I'll slap myself later when I'm not recording. Anyway, AI-powered equalization for instant spectral balance. The centerpiece of SmartEQ 4 is the Smart Filter. It automatically balances the signal based on a target profile you choose for your tracks. The Smart Filter within each instance comes with a range of features to adjust the AI-powered processing to your liking. Remember, this is version 4 of SmartEQ. SmartEQ was one of their first plugins from what I remember. And I didn't use the first 3 versions of it, so I don't know what it had and didn't have, but the fact that it's been refined over 4 versions, I think this one is pretty much ready for prime time, I'm going to guess. And so anyway, open up the Smart Filter widget to tweak the smoothing parameter for gentler filtering and turn up the adaptive option to smooth out highly dynamic signals. You can split the green weighting curve of the Smart Filter and set a certain frequency range to define where the intelligent algorithms should get to work. That's kind of cool. SmartEQ 4's Smart Filter can be used in 3 modes. Track balances the channel. Group doesn't affect the channel but reduces masking between it and other group members. That's interesting. Track and group applies balancing to the channel and makes it subject to unmasking. All right. Profiles for instruments, vocals, and entire mixes. With each generation of SmartEQ, the range of available profiles grew. SmartEQ 4 sports instrument and vocal profiles that you can use on single tracks or buses. To give your mix a final spectral polish, use one of the genre-based profiles. If you are chasing a certain sound, load up a reference track to create a custom profile and have Smart EQ4 emulate its spectral character and balance on your channel or bus. By popular demand, now you can even specify the maximum learning time that Smart EQ4 should use to analyze the input signal. That's pretty cool. So that means I could theoretically, if I was like mixing an EP or album and everything was pretty much recorded the same way, particularly drums, let's say, or vocals, and everything was recorded the same way, same microphone, same distance, same everything else, EQ. You EQ a song first, right? So you do all the work on the first song. And then you take a profile of those tracks and Smart EQ4 does the work for you. Kind of, sort of. Theoretically, anyway. All right, last thing I'm going to read. Smart EQ4 is a highly versatile EQ that has got you covered with every feature you would want. Every feature you would expect from a pro-grade equalizer. In addition to the Smart filter, Smart EQ4's standard EQ bands sport dynamic behavior, offering a dynamic filter widget with familiar compressor-like controls. These standard EQ bands can be used alongside or instead of the main Smart filter bands for any instance of Smart EQ4. There is also an auto gain feature to compensate for level changes, comprehensive mid-side processing, and an analyzer feature that not only shows you the track at hand, but all instances that are in the same group. All right, let's see how much it is. All right, so it's a little bit more expensive than the other ones I've shown you guys so far. If you already own Smart EQ3, you get an upgrade price. But anyway, yeah, a lot of people talked about Smart EQ4. Adam from Real Home Recording wasn't one of them. Because again, slap, slap, slap to myself. Moving on, Pure EQ is essentially a stripped down version of Smart EQ. And it's more affordable too. Pure EQ offers control over spectral distribution in a simple package, transforming your track's tone and character in just a couple of clicks. All right, but you lose a lot of the fine tuning. That's the only thing. Now, it's more affordable, but you have less manual controls. So I'll just scroll through this as the air conditioner plays. There we go. See, $35, $34.30 plus tax. So there you go. Moving on. Oh, here's a plugin that I use a decent amount of my mixes. So what I do is put this plugin last as my final compressor. And the reason I do that is if I want to get character from other compressor plugins, I get it that way. Or if I want something to really be smashed, I get it that way. Smart Comp 2 is such a nice, clean compressor. And it's essentially like your final automation hand. It saves me from having to automate the track one last time just to get it nice and even. I mean, you can use it as your first compressor, don't get me wrong. I'm just saying that that's how I personally use it. So it's essentially the same thing as Smart EQ4, but for compression, it works really nicely. And like I said, the compression is so smooth that I use a decent amount of gain reduction on it. If I have to. Yeah, let's see what the reviews say, the testimonials. Since I discovered Smart Comp 2, the plugin is used in every mixing session. I like that the compression is transparent and almost not audible. Also, the sidechain EQ is indispensable for a tonal balance in the mix. For me, Smart Comp 2 is the perfect bus compressor because of its AI features. The signal is compressed automatically. The signal sounds thereby richer, more present, and direct. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. The spectral portion of this plugin is another reason I really like it. It's almost like an automatic, or it is, I should say, it's an automatic multi-band compressor. And final testimonial, there's a very quick entryway into this plugin and the design is clear and fresh. Further exploration reveals a wide tonal range that can be applied to your sound, which goes way beyond mere dynamic control. So there you go. No way! It's on sale right now for $30. Guys, you gotta get this if you don't already have it. Wow. I'm impressed. In fact, I think I might actually own Smart Comp too. Like, I mean, I have the license. I know that. I'm pretty sure I bought this. Like, you know, it wasn't a not for resale license. I'll have to double check on that, but I think I did buy Smart Comp too. Pretty sure I did. Anyway, yeah, go get this now if you don't already have it. Like, wow. Nice. All right, moving on. Pure Comp, essentially a stripped down version of Smart Comp 2. I'll just scroll through and read the testimonials. Working with a compressor might be complicated because it could be hard to perceive the compression itself. Pure Comp makes it evident and above all fast. The whole Pure bundle is aimed at ease of use and getting good results very quickly. Yep. With just one click, you can achieve super transparent compressions, a task that usually only experienced people can accomplish. And this one, ironically, currently costs almost $5 more than Smart Comp. I'm telling you, Smart Comp is on legitimately a sale. So get it before they, realize they made a mistake. All right, Smart Deess. Where other deessers just reduce volume, Smart Deess goes far deeper and creates a more natural, better balanced sound. By harnessing the power of by harnessing the power of a fully trained neural network, Smart Deess identifies the exact start and end points of phonemes without the need to set a threshold. And thanks to its ability to process the entire phoneme using spectral processing, you'll never want to go back to your old deesser. And I would say, yeah, I used Pure Deess, which I'll be talking about next. Sibilance has always been a problem for me since the time I became a quote-unquote professional sound engineer. And the fact that these newer tools exist to really carve out that annoying sound that pierces my eardrums and just makes me go, So here we go. Looking deeper than ever before, Smart Deess identifies specific individual phonemes. S, Z, sh, ch, t, p in real time, determining the exact start and end point of each sibilance without you having to set a threshold. The entire sibilant is then processed rather than just the loudest part, making the final result far more, quote, natural, unquote, sounding. Each phoneme type is identified and processed. Is that annoying you that I'm mispronouncing process or process? I don't care. I'm doing it anyway. Processed independently, and S is treated differently than a ch or a ch, which is treated differently than a t, the, or t, to. The result is as though the original recording had simply been better balanced. Oh yeah! Give me that Neumann U67 quality audio with a cheap dynamic microphone. I don't know about all that, but maybe. Anyway, I'm gonna Yeah, I definitely, oh, yeah, it's a tough one to swallow. But like I said, Smart Comp 2, you better go grab that one for 29 bucks because it's not going to last that long. Moving on, Pure DS. Yes, this is the one. I'm pretty sure I talked about Pure DS. If I didn't, then shame on me because I thought I did. Anyway, Pure DS, if you can't afford Smart DS, it's the second best option. Although, well, I'm not going to mention the other name, but I did review another de-essing plugin recently, which is right up there with Pure DS. But I think this one's cheapest. I think the other one might be in the middle of that. And so, anyway, these de-essing plugins, these de-sibilant plugins are all good stuff. And yeah, moving on, Smart Reverb. This is the one that's about to get upgraded in a couple weeks. I can say that now because it's made public. I talked about it in the beginning of the video. I'll let that air conditioner turn itself off. In fact, it might turn on in a second, but I'm going to read through this right now really quick. Okay. So you get custom tailored reverb by adjusting its processing to the individual characteristics of the input material and creates a navigable range of styles from scratch. Reverb that truly fits, powered by AI. With just one click, Smart Reverb analyzes the source material quickly to create every reverb from scratch. By custom fitting the reverb to the spectral and temporal characteristics of the input signal, typical problems such as disturbing resonances or muddy reverb tails are avoided from the very beginning. That's pretty cool. Yeah, those muddy reverbs can really clutter mixes and people don't even realize it. If you have a sparse mix or song arrangement, then yeah, use those thick reverbs. But if you got a busy, dense mix, best to use something like this. Now be careful though, because these sonible plugins take up some latency and all of a sudden you might have some glitching going on and you're like, what's going on? And it's because of the latency. So yeah, you might want to process things offline with a freeze or a bounce, mix down, whatever you want to call it. It's not really a mix down if it's a track, but either way, stay in control. Oh wait, here we go. Smart Reverb creates reverb based on the source signal rather than working with presets or pre-recorded impulse responses. To find the reverb style you envision, browse through its reverb matrix, in which all possibilities fit to your input signal. Guided by descriptive properties, you'll find what you are looking for, intuitively and efficiently. So we got intimate, natural, artificial, or rich. For maximum control, Smart Reverb provides you with an interactive view of the reverb's anatomy. Interesting. Its detailed interface makes it easy for you to manipulate the deep structure of the reverb by modifying its frequency and time-dependent decay rate, as well as the reverb's spread or density involvement over time. Alrighty then. I look forward to trying it out. Oh, and by the way, Sonible has some good tutorials. They have blog posts. Wow, Smart Reverb came out August 2020? Wow. Okay, well anyway, moving on. Pure Verb. Again, a stripped down version of Smart Reverb. I'll just quickly go through this because it's essentially the same product. There you go, $34. So if you're on a budget, but you want to try it out and you like it, there you go. Cool. Pure Unmask, the AI-powered unmasking plugin designed for creators. Okay. It effortlessly tidies up your mix and prevents, thanks to spectral unmasking, any audio interference in the frequency spectrum between two tracks. No, that's pretty cool. So essentially it takes the algorithm that's in Smart EQ and puts it into a smaller plugin. I believe that's actually what it says on the in the marketing later on here, or at least that's what was sent to me many moons ago about this plugin. So let's see. Pure Unmask makes short work of one of mixing's most vital components, finding space within one track for another, with minimal setup. All you have to do is load Pure Unmask on the channel that needs to make space, route a sidechain input from the prioritized channel, and then select a profile that fits the sidechain signal. AI-powered processing and spectral unmasking are the driving forces behind Pure Unmask. Together, these technologies are able to perfectly combine two competing elements of a mix without any pumping artifacts. I like it. Respecting your sonic vision. The processing can be refined via 4 controls. Unmasking is the large central knob that lets you increase or decrease the overall effect. Resolution allows you to define the width of the spectral processing bands at work. The speed parameter sorry. I'm laughing at myself how I said the word speed. I got the giggles tonight. The speed parameter lets you either shorten or lengthen attack and release times, effectively tailoring the unmasking effect to slower harmonic context, piano versus guitar, or to faster rhythmic context, kicks versus bass. You can even restrict the unmasking process to within a given low frequency and high frequency range using the range control. Okay, so again, this one's another $34 plugin. And where's the testimonials? Nobody cares about Pure Unmask. Well, that's kind of rude. I mean, here's the reviews, but okay. Well, Real Home Recording needs to do a better job of reviewing these plugins the day they come out, which I plan to do with Smart Reverb too. True Balance. Okay, here's one I genuinely use, just like Smart Comp 2. I genuinely use this on every, well, really master, but I do use it on mixing just as a secondary check. So what it does is it compares your music to a bunch of other music tracks or masters in the same music genre. So we all have done reference mastering or reference mixing. Well, this one allows us to pretty quickly see if our spectrum balance is within the boundaries of other popular music in the same genre. So yeah, this is one I definitely recommend. I hope it's not that much money. I hope it's around the $20 to $35 mark. I'm going to look at that right now, in fact. Oh, where's it at? Oh, there it is. Okay. Well, it's better than the $80 ones. What can I say? Between this one and True Level, I would go with True Balance, because if you have a loudness meter, which you can find free loudness meters out there, they pretty much do the same thing. But True Balance is one that I really recommend. It also has, as it says right there, a phase coherency meter. So it lets you check whether your audio is mono compatible or not. That's another very important thing to do when mastering. I swear on my unborn children, I use this plugin for real during mastering. I mean, I use pretty much all the plugins I tell you guys about, but this one is in the mastering template, and it's one that I reference a lot while I'm mastering. It's pretty much my my go-to. Now there's other plugins that do this. I don't know of any free ones offhand, but you know, to me it'd be worth the $50, you know, just to have that extra confidence. Like here, let's read some of these reviews. If you're not sure how your balance will be faithful to the genre, and if you need to compare your current mix against your last mix for consistency, True Balance has got you. Mr. Matthew Weiss, he says, it's clear to me that they thought about how to incorporate metering in a way that engineers could actually use it. And then Dash Glitch, is that his real name? That's like DJ RHR. That's not his real name. Although Dash might be his real first name. I knew a guy named Dash. What is special about this plugin is that it's quite applicable to both professionals and beginners. That's true. That's true. Okay. Welp. Like I said, this is along with Smart Comp. Smart EQ4 is cool too, but a lot of people might want to do their own EQing. So this one's great. You know, I mean, $50 for a professional tool. I mean, you know, don't buy your favorite video game. Don't buy the Switch 2. Get this instead. Make some money. Then you can get the Switch 2. Anyway, as I was saying a few minutes ago, True Level. So True Level is their loudness meter. Let me see how much it costs, because if it's cheaper, nope. Okay. So Sonible, you're going to hate me for saying this, but I have to. Ulean Loudness Meter Pro is my go-to. Now, I have True Level on my mastering template, but Ulean Loudness Meter is the one I go to. It was one of the first ones that came out. Now, Ulean does not have genres. Now, that's one reason I have this, because I like to have it set up with the genre I'm mixing for as a reference. Okay? That's what True Level is all about. The genre is what makes it unique. But if all you need is a loudness meter, Ulean is the way to go, and you'll save yourself $48. I believe Ulean's is like $30, I want to say. Either way, try both of them out. Maybe you like True Level's GUI better. Who knows? Anyway, moving on. Speaking of all that, Smart Limit. Now, admittedly, Ozone from Isotope is the one that I probably use the most. I'm also starting to use IK Multimedia's Stealth Limiter, since I have their whole shebang now. But Smart Limit, woo, just like their Smart Comp. This is one of the cleanest, best sounding brick wall limiters available. And in addition to the limiting, you also get loudness metering built right in. In many ways, if you get this one, you don't have to get True Level. So True Level is essentially built into Smart Limit. It's not exactly the same thing. You know, there's extra features in True Level, but Smart Limit, look, I really like it. It's a very useful plugin. When you have as many plugins as I do, you know, you have your different choices. If I was in the market for a brick wall limiter, though, I would definitely check this one out. Again, it's got such a clean sound to it. I believe it's actually like true peak limiting, unlike some brick wall limiters that are not true peak limiting and don't sound as good. At a $90 price tag, it's a little bit harder to recommend than something that's $50 or less. But if you are into getting a very loud master without destroying the way it sounds, Smart Limit's really good at doing that. Really good at doing that. Try it out for yourself. Again, don't take my word for any of these plugins. Do the 30 days trial and see for yourself. Okay? If it jives with you, great. If you use it to mix your EP or album and then uninstall the plugins afterwards, hey, no harm, no foul. Buy it whenever you can or need to. That's what the trials are there for, you know? Pure limit. All right, essentially smart limit in a smaller container. So, hey, I might not be able to fully recommend smart limit because of the price, but this one is $34. So there you go. If you like the way smart limit sounds, but you just can't afford it and you don't need all those controls, pure limit is the way to go. There you have it. Yep. Cool. Very cool. I forgot all about this. I'm glad I loaded all these tabs up ahead of time. That is it for now. And you can sign up for their newsletter. You sometimes get coupons and other offers in your emails. But yeah, speaking of emails, sign up for our newsletter by sending an email to news@RealHomeRecording.com. Otherwise, check you guys out later some other time. I apologize for the air conditioner. It is what it is. It's hot now. It's June. It's almost summertime. It's hot where I live. And I'm not going to die to record a video that might get watched by 1,000 people if I'm lucky. Anyway, thank you for supporting Real Home Recording all these years. Ever since the year 2011. So that's going to be 14 years this September that Real Home Recording's been around. And I look forward to doing new mixes and masters for these different plugins. I think that's the way I'm going to handle this, is if I'm going to, check out this reverb or that delay or that EQ or that deesser, I'm just going to do a whole darn mix and then do a video about it for each plugin, talking about that portion of the mix and how it handled things or didn't handle things, and that'll be that. But yeah, check out these sonible plugins. Again, they've been very good to me over the years, and I've been a bad content creator by not doing individual videos. Now, I've talked about their plugins in like general videos, but I never like specifically talked about each one of theirs, except I think Smart Comp I did. I'm pretty sure I did Pure deess. I know there's other ones that I talked about before they contacted me. So anyway, yeah, Sonible, I will be checking out your smart reverb too. Absolutely. You have my word, because I now have Windows 10 on my main machine. Thank you all for listening and watching and checking out Sonible's plugins. In fact, if you buy one of their plugins, tell them Adam from Real Home Recording sent you. They'll send me a virtual cookie. Thank you.